All right, we are about to do shape 12. Start out 2D sketch. I'm actually going to sketch on the XZ plane, and I'm going to roll my orientation over. And with shape 12, I'm going to break it apart into two different sections. So I'm going to go ahead and just sketch out two circles. And remember what we talk about in here. We talk about shape before size. My two circles, they're not lined up, so let's go ahead and line them up. I'm going to go ahead and use a horizontal constraint, constrain the two center points to be horizontal. And then I also want to constrain them to the origin. So I'm going to constrain to the origin horizontal, and it lines it up. And go ahead and draw a line, horizontal line on top. I'm going to draw another one on the bottom. And notice how I'm just sketching. So I'm going to go ahead and do a tangent constraint on each. Tangent constraint, tangent constraint. And it says it's going to overstrain the sketch. So let's go ahead and cancel that. And it should hopefully be there, that constraint here. Maybe we'll be okay. If not, let's try it out. Let's take this and this line and drag it. And if you look, I guess that tangent constraint's not needed because it resizes along with it. So let's go ahead and trim. Do some trimming here. Trim the outside here and then trim the inside. All right. Now I have my slot, what looks like an oval slot. I'm going to put some dimensions on it. Let's go to dimension. Let's dimension the radius. On shape 12, the radius of this feature is going to be 0.5. And then what I want to do is I want to center this thing left and right to the origin. So if I go ahead, center or dimension from center to center of each radius, that dimension, if you look at your drawing, it's going to be 2 inches. And then what I want to do is I want to center it left and right to the origin. So we're going to go ahead and click on that center point, click the origin, drag up. We're going to put a formula in here to take the overall center to center divided by 2, and notice how that locks that in left and right. Also notice down at the bottom here it says it's fully constrained, so everything's locked into place. So I'm going to finish my sketch. I'm going to go ahead and extrude this. I'm going to extrude it down. And the distance down should be 0.5. Hit enter, and there we have the bottom part of this shape 12. The next thing that I'm going to do, and I want to point something out here, is that my origin planes, I always design my parts around the origin so that I can utilize these origin planes in the future. So the one that I want to utilize now is the YZ plane. I'm going to put a sketch on that YZ plane because it's in the center of this object. I'm going to go to 2D sketch on that YZ plane, and I'm going to go ahead and sketch the top part of this feature in this orientation here. I'm going to snap a circle to the y-axis. And I'm going to draw a line, and I'm going to snap my line to the object that exists already, the bottom part. I'm going to draw another line. Now, what I want to do is dimension this circle, and that circle has a radius dimension of 0.5, so that means the diameter dimension is going to be 1. So that'll bring us out, flush to these lines, or tangent to the lines, I should say. So that's sized up. Now the height distance is what we want to put in next. So from the center point to the top edge of this bottom feature here, that height distance is going to be 0.75. So we have that in place. I'm going to go ahead and trim the excess here. Trim this out. And I want to connect this with a line on the bottom. Alright, so all geometry in question is all black, and I think it would be locked in. It's saying down here 1 dimension needed, but what I like to do is grab a hold of my geometry and see if anything moves. If nothing moves, you know, we could be sure that we're good shape. So I'm going to finish my sketch. I'm going to extrude at this point, and what I want to make sure that I do is extrude this symmetrical. Do a symmetric extrusion so that everything stays in the center. The distance of that extrusion is going to be 1 inch. Hit OK. And there we go. That is our shape 12 without the holes. So the next thing we would need to do is put some holes in here. So I can start 2D sketch, sketch on this plane, and I'm going to roll this over. I like looking at it horizontally like this. I'm going to put 2 circles on each side here. Let's dimension them. Let's use a different geometric constraint. Let's use concentric up here. So let's take that center point and that center point, make it concentric. And I don't think that's working. There we go. Alright, so I used the concentric geometric constraint and it worked. First it didn't work because I had tools in my way. Alright, so let's put a diameter dimension on these holes. The diameter is going to be 0.5, and it says a note of a through hole which will extrude all the way through. Let's finish sketch at this point. Go ahead and extrude. We're going to do an extrude cut and just go through all. So that's that. We got one more to put in, that's up here. Let's go ahead and do a 2D sketch. Click on that surface. Sketch a circle. Now if you watch, let me sketch a circle off to the side. I want to use that concentric constraint again. Go to concentric. Let's click a circle. Click that arc. And notice how it puts it to where it shares the same center point. That's concentric. So I'm going to dimension that circle. It's going to be, once again, it'll be 0.5 as a diameter. Finish the sketch. Do an extrude cut and go through all. Hit OK. And there we go. That is how I create shape 12. Any questions?